This story involves blood, injuries, laughter, and a good old beasting in the rain. And this is one of the funniest stories that I can remember from Phase 1 training. So for those who don't know me, my name is King Sloth. I was in the British Army for just under 7 years before transferring across to the Royal Air Force, where I still currently serve. And today's video, I'm going to be giving you one of my funniest moments from Phase 1 training. And most people might be like, how is this funny? But I feel like it's one of the things where you have to be there, because if you're in the military, you'll understand it was a funny story. So, about 6 or 7 weeks into Phase 1 training, which I did mine in ATR Winchester, you go on adventure training for a week. You go to a place called Sennybridge. Sennybridge isn't known for being the best camp. Like, the accommodation is not the best. When I say this, I mean the accommodation is like, remember like the old like World War II air raid shelters? Where it's like big like tin roof building, and it's just full to the brim with bunk beds. Like, and in itself, that was going to cause carnage. You've got a group of lads there who are all boisterous, wanting to kick off, wanting to play about. And then you've got them all locked in a single room together. And then there was like 30 people in one room. So, I'm not going to lie. It stunk. I'm not going to lie, the place just... It was not a nice place to be. But on this adventure training, we do things such as caving, you do your abseiling, your rock climbing, you do orienteering. So many different things. We did high ropes. So for me, I hate heights and I hate tight spaces. So near enough every activity for me, I hated everything, and it was a horrible time for me. But you just get on with it. You do it because you don't want to let the people around you down, and you don't want to seem weak in front of other people. Plus, like, I feel like Phase 1 training is constantly a test, so you're almost worried about what the senior staff are thinking. Like, oh my god, this dude, you look at him, he's 6'6" and he's scared of a cave. I'm like, I'll do it, I don't mind. Like, just get saying, I don't mind, I'll give it a go. Obviously, I think they could have told that I was scared, but I still did it anyway. But the story I'm going to go about isn't even about the activities. Literally, yes, the activities, they were horrible to me, and there were some funny situations involved in that, and I might cover that in a story in the future. But this actually happens on day 2, on an evening when all the activities are done. And it comes from, I'm going to paint the picture, it's a young lad called Stratton. So Stratton is a young lad. I think he was about 18 at the time, and he was skinny, ginger lad. He'd been backcoursed 3 times by this point, just because he couldn't just hack military life. I don't think the military life suited him, especially when it came to art. He got backcoursed from our troop eventually, but he was still on adventure training with us. I think he did adventure training like 3 separate times with 3 different troops. He just didn't fit the military role. The dude just couldn't function in the field, or function really on camp. He just couldn't get a grip of it. But Stratton came across to us on an evening. We were all there, bored. And Sennybridge, it's like a black hole for phone signal, so you have nowhere speaking to like the outside world. You're just there until your next timing in the morning. And he was like, oh, well, we're going to go for a little walk. It's like, okay, no worries. So we went up for a walk, like stretch your legs sort of thing. But the weather was horrendous, so it was like a 20-minute walk, if that, just to like wind down. And he started going, I'm really bored, really bored. And I'm like, oh, go down to the shop down the road. There's a little shop on camp where you connect to Wi-Fi and speak to family if you want. For me, I went there, I spoke to my missus, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go back to the room, but I'll speak to you tomorrow morning after I've had my breakfast. And that was it. Whereas he struggled not speaking to his own family, like, constantly. Like, when he was in the field, it hit like 2 days in, it'd break down. He'd struggle with that. But he came out with, on the night, so we're all sat there, got into our bags. Well, like, we're sat on the beds, really, on top of our bags. And he goes, oh, what game can we play? And I'm like, oh, well, I've got cards. We'll play some cards if you want. He's like, nah, cards are boring. Well, I used to do this in school. I used to play a game called Silly Sausage. I was like, what do you mean, silly sausage? And this bloke was like, no, it's nothing weird. It's nothing weird. I'm like, okay. You just came up with a group of men saying, we'll play silly sausage together. He was like, no, I'm going to show you how it's done. So he literally picked up 2 lads from off the beds. He was like, lads, get in your sleeping bags, zip it up. He's like, okay, cool. I want you to fight. And I'm like, looking at him going like, what do you mean fight? Their hands are locked up, they can't fight at all. Like you're making stupid games up here. And then he came out with, no, you don't punch, you don't kick, you just jump into each other. And the floor that we were on had been obviously waxed that many times over the years. It was slippy as it is. Like you'd walk into this little area where we slept and you'd fall over if you had boots on, let alone if you're in a bag which has no grip. So the first fight happened. It was two lads scrapping each other, knocked over one, and the whole room were in stitches, absolute stitches. Like, oh my god, he's fell, look at him, he's hurting. Everyone's like being winded, the land on the ribs, the crying. And that was the two people, and they're like, well, do you reckon we should up the ante? We'll have four people fight. So we moved the beds out of the way, we made like a ring and everything. It was carnage. But I remember being like, okay, I don't really want to get involved. And next thing you know, get involved. I was like, okay, no worries, I'll have a go then. So I had a quick go. I was like, I've had my go. I lost. I fell over, hit my fucking ribs. I was like, I'm done, lads. I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I watched the rest of you guys. I'm gonna fucking chill out. And then I sat there, watched them, and was like, okay, we're gonna do like an 8-man fight. I was like, okay, cool. And Sean was like, I'm gonna do this one. I think you all know the rules now. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, know the rules. You got beat each other up, and it's the last man standing wins, pretty much. And watching this bloke literally start fighting, there's 8 people putting bets on. I'm like betting on this big Scottish bloke to win because he was a tank. He didn't even move. People would jump into him and they'd just fall over. The bloke just stood there like a unit. It was an animal. But I remember he got to the last two, and it was Stratton and this Scottish lad, McLaughlin. Fucking, he's an amazing lad. But I remember Stratton ran. So imagine this is a Scottish dude. This is Stratton. Stratton ran, jumped, hit him, landed back on his feet, and his feet slipped out of under him, and he hit the deck. Full pelt, full power, full weight, everything. No hands to stop yourself because your hands are in your sleeping bag. And we sat there like, this dude didn't move. He didn't make a sound. Didn't do nothing. We're like, he's knocked out. And literally, I jumped up and I was like, fucking hell, look what's going on here. Literally flipped him over, and literally I saw red on the floor, and I was like, what the fuck's that? And obviously then I looked up, saw his face, and he just had a massive gash all on the top of his head, and I was like, oh, we are fucked. This dude had smashed open the side of his head, and there was blood just pissing out. Like, normally when you cut your head anyway, a lot of blood comes out because there's a lot of vessels in it, which happened to me. A lot of scars off my head and all that good stuff. But he hit the deck hard, knocked himself out, and was bleeding. And we were like, there is no way we can just put a plaster on this and like call it quits. So we made the decision as a group, as grown adults, we're gonna get the corporal involved. So we went to the corporal, and he was like, what's happened? Stratton was like, I fell over. So he didn't grass on us. And then like half an hour later, the corporal came back in. He was like, lads, I want you to be honest with me now. What the fuck's happened? And like one of the lads said, we were just pissing about and he fell over. He was like, yeah, okay, cool. He was like, I think it was Edwins, I can't remember his name. It was a different section to me. He was like, Edwins, can you come in for a second? He's like, your Snapchat. He's like, he instantly, his eyes went like open wide. He knew what he'd done, and we were like, what the fuck has Edwin done here? He had posted publicly a video of us playing silly sausage, including the incident of what happened. So he's there like, okay, Stratton lied to me, so yeah, even though he's injured, he'll be in trouble when he gets back. You've also all lied to me, and I'm there lying in bed. I said fucking nothing. I said nothing at all. Kept out of it. I'm like, nope. Even on the video, I was sat on the bed. I had a quick go once, and that was it. I was done. I went in that video, and literally, I remember him like, lads, you have 5 minutes. We're going outside. Good luck. And we're like, what the fuck's going on here? And I remember, literally, it was torrential rain. Torrential rain. And the corporal was like, okay, we'll have a quick game of grenade. And you're like, fuck's that? And obviously, if you're in the military, you'll understand what grenade means. Grenade means, he screams it, get on your belt buckle, and you crawl. When he says clear, you get up and you start running. So he had us run from our little accommodation, little like tin house, down to this bottom field, which was next to a stream. So it was already waterlogged, water everywhere, it's flooded, it was horrendous. And he had us running, grenade! We're all covered in mud, people are kicking off, like fucking hell, people have got fags in their pockets that are ruined, like people have phones in their pockets ruined, like. And literally, it must have went on. I felt like it went on for about fucking 5 hours, but it didn't. It probably went on for about 20 minutes, if that. And he was like, "All right, lads, do you want to tell us the truth now? Do you want to tell us the truth?" And it's like, "Okay, well, yeah, we'll tell you the truth." And one of the young lads came out with it. He was there like, he told us to play a game called Silly Sausage, and he got injured. He was like, "Was that it? You was fucking about an accident happened?" It was like, "Yeah." He's like, "We could have told me that, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Like, you fucked about. Something's happened. It would have got less punishment. But because you lied to me, this is what's going to happen." And literally, I remember laughing while the Silly Sausage game was going on, panicking when he injured himself, laughing when they're getting beasted, because like, it sounds bad, but I'm that person who just finds everything funny. Like, I've been told off many times in my military career for laughing or smiling. I can't help it. That's the way I am. It's just the way I am. And then we got back to the room after the beasting. We saw the corporal walking away in stitches, laughing his head off. We started laughing our head off. And about, I think it was like 3 hours later, Stratton rocks back up, fucking stitches all inside of his head. Like, good game that was, weren't it, lads? Like, yeah, we'll play, we'll go back to the block. And it was fucking, mate, the whole thing was just carnage. And it all started because of one young lad wanting to have a laugh, wanting to get involved with the lads. And it was good. Like, it was fucking hilarious at the time. I remember literally laughing to myself. And literally, that still now gets brought, with all my people from Phase 1 training who I still speak to, we still bring up the time when Stratton got injured on Senny Bridge. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little story. Let me know if you want to see more like stories like this that I can speak and spin dits about. But it has been King Sloth. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.